Well, let's get started. Everybody enjoying this super duper rainy day?
Yeah.
We have flood warnings. Do you guys?
No.
I
Really?
don't know.
Oh,
I haven't been on yet. The news.
the weather. Yes, it's like I have like a pond out in my yard right now.
Uh-oh.
So did everybody have a
Probably.
good week? I mean, last week. Good.
Pardon?
You're cutting out.
Am I?
Now we heard you fine.
How was your weekend?
Yeah,
Everyone.
Good.
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 Anything fun happen over the weekend that we have to know about?
No.
No?
It's just internet being, the system being down, but everybody knows that, right? Yesterday was my order day.
Yeah.
I'm doing it now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yes, there was an
Well, I
outage.
was before, and I'll finish it when we get off the call.
Yeah, there was an outage. Did you guys see my message? Today was the last day to turn in any recruits that you got over the last 7 days for that.
$25 gift certificate.
Yeah,
A gift card.
I put
I
it.
didn't see your message, but I knew today was the last day.
I put it out on our group Facebook page, so just make sure you keep an eye on that. I try to post something once in a while. We can all stay in contact. All right. Well, are you guys ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
So let me write down who's not here. I hope Audrey's okay. I mean, she's usually Johnny on the spot, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of really worried. So you just have to keep track. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about conversational selling and turning yourselves into opportunity makers. So while I do this, I'm going to I'm taking my picture off, guys,
Okay.
because it will allow me to focus on my material instead of seeing my face the whole time. Okay. So from opportunity taker to opportunity maker. So I'm glad you're here tonight. And our kickoff activities were really about your belief. And my picture is still there. I'm sorry. It sidetracks me.
You just paused.
All the pictures did?
I don't see you.
You'd think I'd know how to
I don't
use
see
this
you.
by now.
I see you now.
Again. You want to call Julie from your phone? She asked.
Okay. So our first seminar was really about your belief. And so we're going to talk about your belief and how to succeed in your Avon business.
Do you want to know what that is?
You may want to mute. Whoever's chit-chatting may want to just mute. And if you're really great at selling Avon products and the Avon opportunity, then the sky is truly the limit for your business and for you. And the word selling can sometimes feel like kind of scary and just one of those words that you don't even like to talk about. But Avon's approach to selling is all about making connection, sharing, and having conversations. So today we're going to learn about how you can really create like a meaningful, sincere connection and sell the Avon opportunity. So in the seminar, we're going to discuss a lot. We're really going to talk about the GROW model. And the G stands for get to know the person and her needs. So when we talk about the S in selling, we want to stick to the GROW model. R is recommend the right Avon solution that works best for them in particular. O is offer a relatable story to demonstrate your belief. And W is to work to establish the next steps. And this topic is really very relevant for, what we do on a day-to-day with our Avon business. Sometimes we just don't break it down into sections like this, but ultimately, I'm sure each of you have done each of these steps throughout your business over all the years you've been doing Avon. But this is really just to help you improve your skills and focus on that conversational piece of our business. So I want you to kind of just sit back, think about and reflect on your personal sales approach. And think about your experience as a customer. We have all been customers, right? Whether it's, I don't know if you guys have a favorite store you like to shop at, but I absolutely, one of my favorite stores to go to is called Torrid. It's in the mall. And they have really kind of like business attire, but really trendy. And it's one of my favorite stores. So that's the store I think of when I'm the customer. Do you guys have any stores that you know that you love to go in and you're actually the customer versus being the seller?
I love Cato's.
Oh, Cato's. I like Cato's too. That's a
I love colors.
Yep. So think about how you like to be approached when you walk into the store. So I know for me personally, going into Torrid, usually I'm like one or two people in there, and that's it. And the girl in there, she happens to work at the school, and she works at Torrid, and she knows me by my first name. She like hooks me up with the best deals, and she's like a hands-on kind of person. So I totally appreciate that, because she'll be like, so what do you think? What do you need? But then when I'm doing my thing, she like leaves me alone. So just reflect on, how you like to be treated as the customer, and then, look at how you like treat your customers in return. So would any of you kind of admit that maybe you're a timid or passive type of salesperson? So like, for example, timid and passive would be, I really enjoy working for Avon. Maybe we can chat one day about what it could do for you. Anybody raise their hand if they're timid, kind of like that? When it comes to your Avon selling, this is when I want to see your faces, I guess.
Put your hand up.
Can you guys see each other?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody had their hand up.
Who had their hand up? Okay, just talk, because I can't see your faces.
Denise.
Okay, so are you kind of timid and passive, Denise? Do you feel like?
Yeah. I just give them a book and say, let me know if you see anything you like, or if you have any questions.
Okay. All right.
I let them to me.
Okay, so let's look at the other spectrum. So Denise feels like maybe, you just give them a book and let them be on their way. How about, is anybody overly aggressive? No? So are you looking for an Avon opportunity unlike any other? Are you seeking a social life that provides financial freedom? Well, then do I have the answer for you? When can you sign up for Avon? We've all had aggressive people like that try to sell to us, right?
Yes.
Like, you are just weird, right? So,
I duck and run. I don't even care what they're selling.
duck and run. Fine. Right. So it's fun to kind of look at both sides of it. So, with all that being said, I mean, how does it make you feel when you do go into a store and right away they're like, hi, how can I help you? What do you need?
Oh, I haven't had that happen in so long.
It really doesn't anymore, does it?
I like to be
Our
approached.
van still does it.
Who
Our
does?
van still does it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't like to be ignored, but I don't want to be overly excited about the
Yeah.
Right.
fact that I'm in here. You approach me and you just say, hi, welcome to DSW. Is there something I can help you with? Let me know, because that's usually what they do. And I'm okay with that. Let me walk around, and if I need your help, I'll find you.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not like you, Kate. I'm not like you, because I don't have a store that I frequent quite that much that they know my name.
That's true. Yeah. Um, you're right.
Kate, I'll share.
Okay.
I worked at Bath and Body Works as an assistant manager, and when people would come in, I would approach them and say, "Welcome to Bath and Body Works. Is there something you're looking for in particular?" If they'd say no, I said, "Okay, I did want to point out we have specials on ba 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 ba," and I would point those out to them, and then I would say, at that point, I just wanted to point out the specials that we have going on in the store right now, and then leave them alone. So what it was, almost like suggestive selling, pointing out areas. And I happened to approach people that I didn't know, but they were from Hudson's. And they did stop me and ask me, "Who taught you to do that?" And I said, "Well, I'm an assistant manager here." And so that was something that we just do. And they said because they were trying to teach their employees to do that, not stand over somebody or, be overbearing, but at the same time do a little suggestion to them rather than just walk away.
Okay. That's awesome training.
So
that's great that you've had that.
And that's something we can do with our Avon business as well.
Yeah. Perfect. So this just helps us kind of look at what do we want to be? How can we do a better job at selling? And how can we go from either timid and passive or overly aggressive to a confident enough to grow your business? And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to break it down. So as you meet people and talk to people that you know, remember every conversation is an opportunity to grow your business. I've talked to many of people, sometimes we're running through life, we're seeing a lot of the same people, but there's times where we're not. So just remember every conversation can be the opportunity to grow your business. It might be an opportunity to sell Avon or sell the Avon opportunity, either one. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down the grow and make each conversation matter more. So what we'll do is we'll start with this little green area in the bottom here. We're going to talk about starting a conversation and then being able to dig a little bit deeper, okay? Mm-hmm. And at any time, please just, if you have any questions or thoughts or anything you want to share, that is what I want you to do, for sure. Okay, so now we're going to talk about G for grow and chance encounters. So really making the most of every chance encounter. There are opportunities that cross our paths every day to start conversations with people we do not know. We call these chance encounters. When and where was your last chance encounter? Can anyone think about, somewhere where you've recently been and you had a chance to bring up the Avon opportunity or to sell Avon products? Has anybody had a chance encounter lately? Anybody?
Mine was at the dry cleaners. I'm still working on that, lady.
Oh,
This
okay.
is Patty.
All right, Patty.
And mine is actually one of my customers. I was not at a store. I have a customer that just loves Avon. Okay. And so I'm slowly, I don't want to be overly anxious with her, but to kind of talk her into possibly becoming a representative because she loves it so much.
Good.
So we have had a couple of conversations, and it sounds like she may be interested.
Okay, that's good. That's good news. And so has anybody else been anywhere? Like parties or going out to the happy hour, going out with your girlfriends for dinner, running just to the grocery store, retirement homes. I know some of you work retirement homes and different things like that. But I just want you to keep in mind, all of those places are opportunity makers or chance encounters, I guess. So just trying to help you keep that in mind. And sometimes, as uncomfortable as it can feel, when you're trying to talk to people and get to the subject of Avon, There's two facts that you don't have to worry about. Just think, if you talk to somebody, the chances are you'll see them again are probably like few and far between. So, you know, don't let it worry you. Just talk to them about it. And then really, when you're talking, believe in yourself and in your mission. And you really can bring an opportunity to someone who may need it. So we're going to talk about how you can connect with people during these chance encounters. This is really the meat and potatoes of what we're going to talk about. And a lot of you know this. I know you do. So, but this is just a breakdown of it. So use the conversation starters to make new connections. It's important to have an easy way of starting conversations during these chance encounters. We have a couple of good options to connect with some people. The first option is to find a common ground. And then a common ground can be pretty much anything. You're pretty much at a common ground if you're in the same line, together. So that's the example that they're using here for us is find that common ground and ask open-ended questions to get her thinking or talking. So, wow, this grocery line is so long. I probably wouldn't say who has time for this, but I know we'd all have our own little renditions of how we'd say that. I might say, wow, this grocery line is super long. I've got so much to do. I hope it goes fast. I would say it differently. And then they say you could follow up with that little conversation and say, how would you rather be spending your time? Or there's other things that you could say. What do you got going on tonight? Or I have to rush off to here. Are you in a hurry this evening? You could just start asking many different questions, but finding that common ground, to me, is a simple way. So if you happen to be in the same place at the same time, that is definitely your common ground. And then we talk about a compliment. We all can raise the roof right now because that's what Avon has taught us over the years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Start with a compliment. And I am 100% all about that, as long as it's a sincere compliment, right? Remember to always be sincere, and you don't want to sound cheesy and make the person feel uncomfortable. But if you truly like something they have on, it'll sound sincere. So if you see a woman that's dressed up nicely for her job, you could really just say, wow, I just absolutely love your outfit. Where do you work? Or what do you do? And after she responds, you could ask another open-ended question like, how do you like that? Or, that sounds like a pretty important job. What's your favorite part about it? Things like that. Has anyone ever done recruiting in this method, whether you're finding the common ground or you're complimenting? Anybody use these types of things as conversation starters in the past or currently?
Hey, I have a question. This is Jean.
Yeah.
I was in a store and it was very sincere. This girl she was working at Office Max. And I stopped in there to get some stuff. And so I'm in a line. And of course, she's the cashier. And I really, really loved her eyes, the way she had them made up. Mm-hmm. And so I did compliment her, very sincere, like you say, with, I just love the way you did your eyes. And she said, oh, thank you. And then she said, went on to say, which I didn't quite catch who she purchased or what kind of eye makeup it was. So then now I'm not going to want to hold a line up. So I did give her my card, and it was a card for either selling or whatever. And I said, that I really noticed that on you. I said, I do, sell beauty products, and I'm also hiring now too. So all I did was hand her my business card. Now, you tell me, was that appropriate? Because I'm not going to hold a line up talking to this girl. So, but yet I wanted to figure out a better way. But in an opportunity like that, you can't stand there holding up a line and trying to get her telephone number and so forth. So,
yeah. You know what? I love that you started with a compliment, and I think that if you felt like she was receptive to the compliment, and
Definitely.
you felt
Yeah.
confident. You know, I love your confidence in saying, "Hey, I'm in the beauty industry. I would love to give you my business card, and have you have a chance to look and see what cool products we have. And if you wouldn't mind, I just want to text you a picture of our newest product. If you could just give me your cell phone real quick, I'll be able to text that to you later today." Or you could even
Oh, that's
say,
a good way. Yeah, that's a good way. Because I felt at that point uncomfortable that I didn't want to continue holding the line up trying to
I
recruit or sell to this, girl. So that was really good. That's really good.
you could say, "Hey, let me just text you my website. What's your cell phone real quick?" Just now, people can either give you the real cell phone number, they may not, but
Mm-hmm.
usually if it's a younger person, millennial person, they will give up their
Mm-hmm.
phone number, and then you can just text them your website.
Yeah, and you're not really asking, you're saying, I would like to send this to you. So, you know, if you could give me your text number, your cell phone number, I'd like to send you over, a link. Yeah.
Because you don't
And
have
that's
the
good.
time to ask her all the questions you want to ask to get to the bottom. So that would be the best way, at least
Right.
with your contact information. Does anybody else have an idea of how you would? I'll tell you what I used to do when I first started selling, and I'm kind of embarrassed. I would literally like stalk the person in line, and I would wait till all the customers left. I'd be like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll just stand over here until you're done." And sometimes that would be okay, but other times I think they probably thought I was a little nuts. But um, I don't recommend that unless you really had like a connection for them to be like, "Yeah, I do want to get that. Just wait a second, and if you don't mind waiting for a minute." Anyone else have a suggestion for Jean?
No, I was wondering, I was like Jean, I was wondering, okay, is there a line? How I probably would have done what Jean did.
Okay,
And
good.
your response was a helpful response because I probably would have done the same thing considering there's a line behind me.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't think it's too
Well,
pushy. I think it's a way of the times we live in. People are willing to do that. And if you just say, "Hey, let me just text you my website because we have some really cool new products right now. What's your phone number? I'll just text it to you later." Make it seem kind of nonchalant, and then get out of there. And then you can start that conversation over text.
Mhm.
Okay, and then don't forget, a good way for you to catch compliments is always, wearing your Avon products. So your clothes, your accessories, your makeup, and really looking the part when you're out and about. So that way people are attracted to you or attracted to what you're wearing, and they might say, "Oh, I just absolutely love that top." So that's another way to get conversations started. A simple way, I think, when you're getting a compliment. Okay? I'm sure you guys have had that happen to you where you've been wearing something and it strikes up a conversation.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
in all conversations, whether they're with people you just meet or people that you already know, it's really important to ask open-ended questions to get to know their needs and their wants. So by knowing what's important to them, you're able to really share the Avon opportunity, whether it's selling them product or a selling opportunity. Okay.
okay, I have to leave now.
Okay.
I'll try to get on the call, get in my car after I get in my car and I'm driving, okay?
Okay. Do you have the phone number?
Yeah,
Okay.
in
Awesome.
the email.
All right.
All
Thanks.
right, thanks. See you guys.
I know.
Bye. Um, so what we're going to do, warm up conversations and open-ended questions. So after you connect and say hi and find that common ground, really trying to get her to talk and find out what matters to her. So great words to use are why, what, how, who, when, and tell me more. Because those sentences or those words really are open-ended. They allow you to have an open-ended question at the end. Oh, why do you love it so much? What do you like so much about your job? Sounds really neat. How How is it that you got into that position? Okay, so you can see those tag words are really helpful to put into your pocket to have with you when you want to try to open up people to talk more. So I love this saying right here: be interested, not interesting. Does that hit home with anybody? Have you ever met a person that is very interested in themselves and they don't even ask you one question about you? You don't ever want to be that person when it comes to trying to build your business. So here's just some quick question. How's your job going? Oh, tell me more about what you do. How do you do it? When somebody's referring to managing their family and their career. This one's kind of weird. What do you think is the hardest part of staying home with your kids? I guess it's not weird if you're, in the PTA and you're around that type of thing. If you could change your situation, what would you change? And why do you like to volunteer with the PTA so much? Because you're crazy. So can you guys think of any other open-ended questions that have helped you over the years? Anybody?
Sometimes I'll compliment them on their skin, and that kind of brings up the skincare line.
Okay.
If I'm out and about, or if I have a coworker and they have really nice, their skin is beautiful. And that was one that we were taught to use years ago. Yeah. And the lipstick, how, oh, that's great, shade on you, or, where'd you get your lipstick from? And then just go on about, a little bit about how Avon has a number of shades that can match just about anything we have clothing-wise.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great conversation starter. And then once you're into that conversation, we always want to try to get past, in a way, we want to dig deeper to find more about them, because we really ultimately want to turn them into an Avon representative versus a customer. So luckily, our product line is very helpful to get the conversation going. We have awesome products. We're all very knowledgeable on our products. But once you get there, that's when you have to have some of these, digging deeper type of questions to learn more about them and who they are as a person. Okay. Find out what matters by listening with questions. Listen for her needs and wants. And I know you all are very good at that, especially when it comes to the product line. Because really, you guys are the experts. You've been selling Avon for many years. You know the products. I know we come out with new products and things. But you really know and trust, and you know how great the product is. So it's easy for you to find out her needs and wants in that area. But let's talk more about, that digging deeper and listening questions. Here are some good examples of follow-up questions you can use to dig deeper. If you find out that she really wants to make new friends, you could dig deeper by asking, why is making new friends important to you? Or if you kind of find out while you're talking to her that she just wants more flexibility, that she's super busy, that could be, what would more flexibility in your day mean to you? And then if you find out she wants more money, you could dig deeper and say, what would more money actually mean to you and your family? That's my favorite question. What would more money mean to your family? I feel like most people always have that need for a little extra cash. Some people might need a lot extra. Some people might just want a little pocket change to their mad money. And so I think that's a good question to keep in your vault of questions that you can kind of memorize, so you always have them with you. Does anybody ever have any follow-up questions that's worked for you in the past that helped you dig deeper?
I think that for me, this is Karen. I think for me, with that money question, it would be more like, if you had more money, what would you do? or what goals are you currently working on that more money could help you with?
Oh, that's good, Karen. I'm writing it down. I like that a lot. If you had more money, what would you do? And are you working towards anything, like goals? Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
All right.
What was the question?
Oh, we were just asking, can you hear me?
Yep,
Is that
I can hear you.
you, Denise?
Yes, it is.
Hey, well, welcome back. We're just talking about those open-ended questions that help you dig deeper to get to know somebody better. So we were just talking about what would more money mean to your family, or Karen said, if you had more money, what would you do with it? That type of thing. So what we're going to do is see how it works. Avon put together a sample for us, and we have Sally, who's the Avon leader, and then we have Sarah. Sally and Sarah met at spin class. Anybody here do spin class? You can tell somebody from New York wrote this. I think all those folks up in New York do spin class, so we should put on here like we met at the McDonald's. No, just kidding. for area around here, and they met at spin class and asked her to have coffee. So, who wants to do? It's like a role play. All you have to do is read what they say. Anybody want to read? Anybody want to be Sally, the Avon leader? This is Sally. You just have to read this.
I'll be Sally. Sally.
Oh, thank you. And then who wants to be Sarah?
I could be Sarah. This is Patty.
All right. Thanks. All right. So here is Sally. You just want to read her little bubble.
Hi, Sarah. Happy Friday. I'm so glad we could connect for coffee.
Me too. That spin class is awesome. We have so much fun. It's a great stress release.
I am with you. I feel great after every class. Did I hear you say that you have 3 kids, one of which is in college? I have only one little guy, and I feel like I can hardly keep my head above water.
Yes, that's right. I also have a crazy dog, and my 2 boys are on a traveling soccer league. I spend my weekend schlepping them all over the place.
I don't envy you there. What else causes your stress?
Oh gosh. I work from home as a book editor. I spend my days on the computer with very little interaction. I need to connect with a human over the age of 14.
I get it. If you could create the life you dream about, what would that life look like?
I would have less stress. I would have lots of friends to hang out with, and I would have plenty of money to help pay for my daughter's college and travel. I love experiencing new places.
Thank you, you guys. What did you think? How did you think that sounded? Do you feel like Sally had some good open-ended questions?
Yes.
Yeah, she got quite a bit of information about Sarah.
I think so. what else causes you stress? Because right away, Sarah said that she was pretty, it relieved her stress, which was a good thing for Sally to hear, because then she probably keyed in on that and said, okay, how can I get to find out what her stress is to see if Avon can relieve that somehow. So good. All right, so we're going to dig a little deeper, though, as they're still having their coffee. So there's just a few more pop-ups. If you guys don't mind, keep going.
So Sarah, why do you feel being connected and having friends are important for you now?
Since my divorce, I have felt so isolated. We had to move to a new area, and I have not felt up to finding new friends.
I totally understand. I am divorced and I felt that way when I went through it. You mentioned you would love to have more money to help pay for college and travel more. What would it mean to you if you had more money for these things?
Well, first I would feel relieved that my daughter will not graduate from college with a ton of debt. I don't want her to have that level of stress at such a young age. Also, by having more money to travel, I could fulfill my lifelong dream of visiting Europe.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
How can this information help Sally sell Sarah on the Avon opportunity?
Oh,
What do you guys think?
I think Sally has quite a bit of information.
Mm-hmm.
She knows that Sarah would like to have more money to help with college for her daughter, as well as saving money so she could go on her dream trip to Europe. So this probably would be a good time to maybe ask Sally. I probably at this point would ask, have you ever thought about a home-based business?
Yeah.
Or have you ever done a home-based business?
Yeah. I think it's good. I think this is the point where, she can really offer the opportunity. Something that I've learned over the years is this. Well, what if I could show you a way that you could actually, help your daughter through school? You could potentially earn that trip to Europe. And I like the words, what if I could show you?
Mm-hmm. I do too.
Because then she can go, oh, yeah. I'm all ears. I'll listen. Most people will say, no, I don't want you to show me. They won't say that. No, nope. Nope, don't show me. Don't want to hear it. It's just another good little open-ended start to a question that you can keep in your pocket. What if I could show you a way that you could get these things? And do you feel like Sarah's enjoying the conversation?
Yeah.
I really think that.
I think so.
Yeah. Sally's really making it about her and really listening and making Sarah the important person. Okay. So now we're going to talk about recommend the right Avon solution. So when you're in the G, you're kind of digging and listening to see what the right Avon solution might be for that person. So we all know when selling the opportunity, we of course believe that the Avon opportunity is the right solution. If you're selling products, it's important to determine what solution is right for the customer based on her needs. We're going to talk about the 3 C's when recommending the right Avon solution. So next we're talking about the 3 C's. Every time you recommend the right Avon solution, you want to follow the 3 C's. And the first one is clarifying her needs and her wants. Number 2 is communicating the right Avon solution, whether it's selling the product to them or the opportunity. And then number 3, really trying to connect the dots. Share how the solution meets her needs and her wants. Okay. So let's talk about the first C, clarifying. You might be wondering why you might need to do this. Didn't you just reveal this in the conversation when you were talking to her? Yeah, we just found out that Sarah, had needs for college. She had needs to relieve stress. She's super busy with her boys in soccer. But believe it or not, this step is very important to clarify. So why is it important? For one, you're making sure you really understand what she needs and wants. Number two, you don't really want to assume anything. And also you want to possibly identify additional needs and wants that she may have. And then make sure her needs and wants have not changed since your last conversation. We want to make sure she knows that she's heard. So clarification is a really good thing to understand, not only with your Avon business, but life in general, I think. To really hear people and hear their needs and wants in life and be able to clarify it. And so that way they feel like, oh, she really cares about me. She really does understand. She hears me. So once you confirm her needs and wants, you can share the solution and how it might help her. Here we have an example of some verbiage that you can use as a structure for your recommendation. This is just a structure. Obviously, your words will be more casual and feel more comfortable for you. So here's a recommendation. It sounds like you would love to connect with some new people and make some extra money to help pay for your daughter's college and travel. Is that right? Yes, I would love to do that. Well, you should really think about joining my team as an Avon representative. You can make new friends and be a part of a group of women, a great group of women. The ladies on my team are awesome. Everyone supports each other and has lots of fun. You would really love them. As an Avon representative, you can also earn extra money for your daughter's college and cool trips. You can help her avoid stress when she graduates, and then you could take that dream trip to Europe. Who doesn't want to have fun with friends and make money at the same time? Oh, that's it. What did she say? Did she say yes? We don't have the bubble. Okay, so that's just a way to, clarify and make sure you're communicating back to her what her needs and wants are. And then the last step is making sure to connect the dots, which she did that as well. I think she connected them. So now we're going to talk about O. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions before we move to O? Number O. So O is offering relatable stories and demonstrating your belief. Really important to relate to the person as you build trusted relationship with them. By sharing a story or two, you can help them see how the solution has impacted your life and others' life. Stories really are a great sales tool in any business you're in. People love to hear a story. They love to feel like somebody's been through it the same way, or they love to hear success stories like, wow, if she can do that, I know I could do that, or I want to at least try. So your belief that we went through on the first module is really important in your business. Can you guys all hear me okay? There's a little bit of background music, or noise, I mean. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. But sharing your belief. So all of us had the chance to go through your personal belief and come up with your 30-second, 1-minute story that you can turn around and relate to anybody. So when you're talking to somebody, make sure you relate and tell your personal story. You want to say, wow, you might have to have somebody put it on mute. I'm not sure who. I'm just hearing a lot of background noise. Wow, you're a lot like me, and joining Avon has been a great impact on my life. I would really love to tell you more about it. This is my story. This is how it started for me, and this is what's happened in my business. So let's listen to another example of how sharing stories might sound. Here, Sally is sharing a story with Sarah. Does anybody else want to volunteer to speak up? I can do it. It's no big deal. Let me tell you what has worked for me and others like you. So here's one. I totally understand how you feel when you say you need to connect with new friends. When my son went to kindergarten, I was totally lost. He was my first child in kindergarten. My whole life had revolved around him and his needs, and I had very few friends. And then the second relatable story is that's when I found Avon. Avon gives me a reason to connect with new people, and it gives me something new to talk about beyond my son and his needs. I love it. I've made so many new friends. You remind me a lot of Suzanne. Suzanne is my sister-in-law. She pulled me aside a few years ago and was interested in learning more about Avon. Every year, Suzanne takes a trip with her girlfriends. My brother always complains because they really can't afford it. Suzanne refuses to give up her girl time, so she was looking for something to help her pay for her trips. She found that Avon gave her the opportunity to not only pay for the trips, but to also have some more girl time with new friends. I really
like that story.
believe that Avon might be the right opportunity for you.
Yeah, I like that last one.
I like that last one too.
I like them all, but that last one I could use. That's something that I could use to make it relatable when talking to somebody.
Okay, good.
I've used that one myself with trying to get people involved into the Avon business so they can come and join us in those wonderful places like Nashville for the Rep Fest or Orlando.
Yeah.
They don't realize it costs money to go, but they can earn that money throughout the year to offset the cost of it, and it gives them a chance to get away.
Exactly. And they also, Avon's been so good to us over the years too, for trips that you can earn that are really ultimately free. Like right now we have Bermuda, and that's a great thing to talk about to people who want to take trips as well. So yeah, I like that. That's a good one on the bottom there. Very relatable to a lot of people. They want to travel and have their own time. So can you guys think of some additional stories? Do you feel like you're comfortable when it comes to relating to other people and coming up with different stories?
I can. I've used the one, when I was first divorced and I needed some spare money that Avon was there to help me out. And then since then, the travel one or just, getting your own discount on your own merchandise helps people realize that they're actually saving money.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way.
Yeah, exactly. Being their own distributor.
Yeah, the other one I add when I'm talking, especially if the person has children in high school, I let them know becoming the Avon representative, as long as you are current on your business, that your child could apply for the scholarship once they're in college. We still have that scholarship for children going into college. And I have a granddaughter that will be able to use that next year.
Awesome. You can apply for it.
Yes, she can apply for it. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that you guys feel comfortable with that part. All right. And then the last letter, we'll talk about W. And once you go through the G, the R, and the O, you should really work to establish what the next steps are going to be. It's important to always ask your prospect or the person you're talking to join your team. and then establish the next steps based on how she responds. Oops. So if you truly get to know her needs, recommend the right Avon solution and offer relatable stories to demonstrate your belief. Then you can confidently ask her to join your team. Make sure you always ask. It's really the very most important step. And there are many ways you can ask a prospect to join your team. So let's just take a look at these examples and see what we think.
Kate, can I interrupt for a minute?
Yeah.
This is Patty. Unfortunately, I have to be somewhere at 7:45, so I'm going to get off the call right now.
Okay.
And then I'll check the recording later. Are you recording this one?
Yep. I'll be able to send it out via email tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine. All right, that sounds good. Okay?
All right. Thanks, Patty, for letting me know.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So this is that part going back to, are you somebody who's kind of passive, or are you somebody who's like in your face? These are some questions that you can kind of have in your back pocket and just try to have memorized so you feel comfortable in, asking people to start. I would have, if I was out to lunch or having coffee with Sarah, I probably would have said, hey, why don't we just get started today? It's so easy. I like that one. Why don't we get started today? And then the second one is, honestly, I would love to have you join my team. How can we make it happen? What additional information do you need to get started? What additional information, if any, can I provide to help you determine if the Avon opportunity is right for you? My favorite one is still the top one, because I feel like I don't want to talk anymore about. I feel like I already learned enough. No.
Right. I understand what you mean, though. That one gets right to the point, because if you say that, then they'll let you know if today is not good or not.
Yeah, they'll go, well, I do have a few questions. Let me think about it. And then you're like, oh,
Right.
darn.
And the other ones you're actually asking if they have an out instead of just letting them asking to do it, asking for the sell.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think in some cases you can kind of tell the people when you're with them, those that are, everybody's personalities are so different. And some people love having all the information, and you can tell that when you're having that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some people that are a different personality type, and they'll go, oh, sounds awesome, sounds fun. When can I start? So I think it just depends, after you're learning about them in those conversations. So good.
That's true.
So like I've done job fairs since we've had our new system where it's all online, everybody signs up online. And I was there with 2 representatives. It'd been a while since I've been out recruiting because my job switched to remote management for 9 months. And then I got back into in the field management. And before coaching, I was a district manager, and then we had the online. So it was the first time I was doing a job fair, and I hadn't been out recruiting in a while. So I had learned something from one of the representatives I was with. I was really good at really learning about them and figuring out how Avon could benefit the things that they wanted in their life. But when it came down to it, because I didn't feel comfortable with the sign-up process necessarily on the spot, I wouldn't ask them, do they want to start today? I was like, so here's the information. I'm giving you a starter kit. I wasn't asking them for the clothes. And then the gal next to me, she was quite aggressive. But she got 3 people signed up just because she was saying, all right, let's get started. And they'd go, well, no, today's the day. She'd say, come sit right here. Just sit right down. And they'd go, oh, okay. And they'd say, well, I left my wallet in the car. No big deal. Let's get you on here, and then we'll have you run out to the car. It was a good reminder for me, though, that you have to close the sale. Now, would I be as aggressive? Probably not. I'm just not that type of person. So, but it's good to talk about this because I think, I don't know, if you don't practice it a lot, you kind of shy away from, asking people to start. I don't know if you guys would agree with that, but
Yeah, I agree.
but that's my story, and it really though impacted my abilities. So I thought, you know what, I gotta get back to asking for this, asking for the sale. I'm closing it. I gotta close this, whether it's a yes or no. I've got to close it. So we always have to ask. All right. So we have to be prepared for every outcome, knowing that you always ask prospects to join the team. At the end of your grow conversations, you really need to be prepared for what the outcome might be. So if you hear her say yes, then make sure you have a predetermined plan to help her get started. So make sure you have a cell phone that can get online. Make sure you have your computer there so she can join right then. Just make sure there's a way for her to do that. And but what if she says maybe? What do you do when this happens? Think about the next steps, you might recommend to further demonstrate your belief in the opportunity. Maybe have some more of your relatable stories in your back pocket. Maybe ask her, tell me why you wouldn't want to get started right away. What's going on? And let her talk a little bit more. And then if you hear obstacles, well, I'm so busy at work, maybe ask some, dig deeper and understand her more and why she feels so busy. Well, what is it at work that keeps you so busy? Really? So let's talk about, and she might say, gal, my boss has me do this. I work with 10 other people and they're all having me do this and that. And then, I have the office next door, and you can start hearing like, well, she does have a lot of people around her. This could be pretty cakewalk for her to get a lot of orders. So, just doing that digging deeper and making her feel comfortable while you do that. And if her objections are too small, if her objections are a lot and she just has an excuse after excuse, or it's just not for her, it is okay to move on. It's okay if she doesn't. Okay, so give yourself, the okay to just walk away and say, well, so good to meet you. If you ever need anything, I've got your number, you've got mine. Because you know what you did?
No.
You planted a seed. She may not want it now, or she may have heard all these obstacles, but you planted that seed. So
at this point, I would ask her if it was just, if it ended like that, I would probably do one of two things. That starter kit that you that you said you wanted to do, and the lady said, no, let's get started.
yes.
I would probably give her a starter kit and let her just try it for a week and see how it goes. And if she still was giving excuses, then I'd say, well, then I would try to see if she was wanted to be a customer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Or a helper.
Yeah.
Or a helper.
Yeah, or a helper, yes.
Take the stress off of her, and she just has to get you the orders with all of her millions of office workers.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. What if you should hear no? Take the opportunity to get a referral, maybe. Maybe the person knows someone who might be interested in everything you guys just talked about. Don't forget the person could be a potential customer.
Mm-hmm.
Ask her questions that may lead to a potential product sale at that point. Then you could switch over to Jean. I think it was Jean who said, hey, what skincare do you use? Your skin looks great. Switch it over to something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ask her questions that might help her see if she's interested in a fundraiser or if she has a connection to a place that might need a fundraiser. These are just all ideas. But be sure to connect with the person on social media. I think social media is one of the biggest tools we have right now in general in life. So
Sorry.
what is that? Dog?
Yes, he's fussy.
Oh, I hear. So social media, that's a really big thing. Just try to, say, hey, at least let's be friends on Facebook. Try to find them and friend them. All right, we're almost done. We're wrapping it up. But no matter what the outcome is, it's important that you established a tangible next step. Based on the person's level of interest, recommend a next step that feels appropriate. So if you do feel like they're second guessing, you could say something like, it feels like you're trying to think it over. Why don't you just sleep on it? Think about any potential questions you might have, and we can connect in a couple days. Setting that time expectation is a really big piece, because by setting an expectation that you'll be calling them in 2 days, it will not come to a surprise that you actually do call them or reach out to them. And I think they'll appreciate your honesty and your, the commitment that you have to doing that. Be accommodating. Increase the likelihood of a response by being respectful of their preferred communication style. I gotta look at this screen. If you only ask for email and they don't really check it that often, you may run the risk of messing up that great opportunity of, staying in touch with them. So capture her contact information. If she prefers Facebook Messenger, then do Facebook Messenger. But
what if you don't prefer Facebook Messenger?
Well, then you pass it on to somebody who can use Facebook Messenger. No, but then maybe for you, Karen, just say, hey, I'm not really on Facebook Messenger, but what about texting? Do you text?
Oh yeah, I text, and I'm just now into this Messenger, and I don't know if I really like it.
Oh, ooh, are you?
Isn't that the one with the little face? The little faces come on your phone. Is that the Messenger?
Yep.
Yeah. My girlfriend had to. I said, "How do you stop this? I don't want to see all these faces, these little faces on my phone." she told me what to do to stop the notification.
Drives you crazy. I know. So you just turned off your updates, right?
I didn't turn it totally off. Just certain people.
Oh.
I turned their notifications off.
Well, hey, sometimes people do too many messages. That's for sure.
I use Messenger, but I have my notifications off. I'm on my phone enough. I have one friend who loves to send a message at 3:00 in the morning. Well, sorry.
I'm sleeping.
Yeah. So I just shut it off.
Yep. So just
an alert.
Yeah.
Just noise.
Just makes a noise and it wakes you up. But just make sure you know the ways that they like to communicate.
Right.
All right. Highlight a roadmap of the next steps. This will show her that this isn't your first rodeo, that you know what you're doing, and that you're able to offer her valuable experience based on her level of interest in it. Selling the opportunity is not always a one-time event. Studies have shown it typically takes up to 6 contacts before the sale is made. A follow-up phone call, text, or email will keep your business healthy and growing. All right. Identify next steps. Let's hear an example of the W working to identify the next steps. I'll be Sally. Someone just be Sarah if you don't mind.
I'll be Sarah.
Okay. It feels like you're really thinking this over. Why don't you just sleep on it? Think about any potential concerns or questions you might have, and I can contact you again in a couple days. How do you prefer to be contacted?
I prefer text or phone.
Text or phone? Okay, fantastic. Let me add you now. When we connect later this week, we can determine if you think it would be worthwhile to grab coffee with Kelsey. What? Worthwhile to grab coffee with Kelsey? Sorry. She's fantastic and reminds me of you. We could also have you attend our team meeting if you'd like that.
Great. Talk to you soon.
Good. Sorry, I couldn't read my bubble very well. I don't know who Kelsey is. That was kind of weird to have that thrown in there.
Yeah, that threw me off too.
Like, well, maybe that was her daughter? They didn't say her name.
Maybe somebody on the team. It's kind of, I got
Friend.
the impression it was somebody on her team.
She's
Oh, okay.
all right. Yeah. But it's really important that you are specific when you do establish that next step. Let's talk about follow-up fails. All your effort to identify the next steps it takes time to do that. So good follow-up shows respect and professionalism. How do you feel when someone does not follow up or follow through on their commitments? I know we all have
I
people
don't
in
like
life, but I'm totally somebody who likes to, if I say I'm going to commit, then I'm going to commit. But, if someone doesn't follow through, I think, well, I don't really know if they mean business or what. So let's consider a few follow-up fails to ensure you avoid these mishaps. Not following up at all. Assuming that you are the only thing your buyer thinks about in a day is rather naive. There are pick-up, drop-off schedules to consider, grocery lists to create, and birthday parties to plan. So checking in with your prospect is not only appreciated, but appropriate to remain on top of your mind. Okay, connecting through Twitter when they requested text. Make sure you are clear on the preferred methods of communication, especially when you are just starting your relationship and you're still building trust. Down the line, it's more appropriate to reach out in other forums, but not right out of the gate. Not offering up any value. People are busy. Don't waste an opportunity if you get them on the phone. Have something of value to offer to them. Consider the next step roadmap you created. These steps can used as follow-up offers that will keep the train moving forward. Not adjusting your plan. Everybody's different. They want different things for different reasons at different times. Having a plan is good, but only one plan can sometimes steer you wrong. For example, consider creative ideas for the individual and what would be most beneficial for the person. You can even ask them. And be flexible. If you aren't making any progress after the second attempt, try a different method of communication. What's the worst that could happen? They could keep ignoring you?
Mm-hmm.
And an infinity of follow-up. Sometimes you have to cut your losses to focus on prospects that may actually turn into high-performing team members. There comes a point where you just need to ask, are you in or are you out? At that point, you would just need to cut your losses. So you see how they're 2 days out, Wednesday, 4 days out, and then 8 days out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of, after those 6 times to 8 times, cut your losses at that moment and focus on the new, but hold on to their information for future. Have a log that has all your information, your leads, their contact information, because at some point Avon might be running a special, like our rebate right now, where you could in 6 months go back to your book and say, well, I'm going to reach out to Sarah again. and just let her know we have a rebate on the cost to join. So it's like you cut your losses, but always hold on to your potentials. Grow your business like a boss. After practicing the grow conversations with multiple people, sit back and reflect on your progress. Here are some telltale signs that you're rocking it. It will feel natural and less salesy and more sincere. The more you practice, the more natural it feels. Your prospect will be visibly at ease. They might be leaning in towards you, nodding their head, smiling. Look for those signs. I feel like all of us in the sales industry, we're kind of people, so we're able to look at the visible signs and say, oh, I think they're into it, or oh, I can really tell she's not really paying attention. You will get 15 minutes plus of information being shared with you. You know they're really into it when they're sharing a lot about them, right? And they will be eager to set up the next steps and will appreciate your follow-up. So those are some signs that you know when you're talking to people that you're rocking it. So don't forget, it's okay to fake it until you make it. All right. So now the application guide, I emailed to you guys last Thursday night, but I'm happy to do it again. Does everybody on the call right now have that guide? Or do you know
Yes.
what email?
You emailed it?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What?
I just said you emailed it last Thursday?
Last Thursday night, right after our last collaboration call. I think you had to jump off early. So just check. I'm sure it's in your email.
I am too.
So just download it. Do your best to, do it through Adobe. I'm actually going to pull the homework up so you can see it. Okay. So now that we've covered all the seminar content, let's talk about the guide here. It's called Growing Your Business. By completing this application guide, you will prepare for future conversations focused on selling the Avon opportunity. So if you look at it, it's really just kind of having you get to know her needs first. So trying to help you come up with where's your chance encounter location. You could put church or the grocery store, and then, compliment her. What would your compliment be? And then what second question would you follow up the compliment with? So kind of create your own scenarios in your head and fill this out here. And then here's an area where you need to come up with some more open-ended questions that you feel comfortable with in these 3 boxes. And then maybe come up with some additional needs that you might need to uncover with your questions. A lot of the most popular needs that people have is they need more money, they want to meet new friends, and then flexibility. See if you can come up with some other needs that you found that people have needed when you were talking to them about the business. And then you have to just fill out question number 4. Then the second page is recommending the right Avon solution. Think about a past recruiting conversation. Use the following to position the Avon opportunity. So put in here somebody that's a potential team member, and really try to think of somebody who is one right now. And then so you can turn it into a real scenario. And insert their need and their want. And then the benefits. And then offering a relatable story. Avon has put together in this application guide a scenario for you. So you need to read through this and then, come up with what your relatable story would be to Joni. That would help her feel more comfortable with the Avon opportunity. And then with W, you work to establish the next steps. So it's just really bringing you through the GROW method. And then at every end of every application guide, we have your call to action. So I just ask you to fill this out on who you can practice your conversational selling with over the next 2 weeks. Okay. And then you also got in the email our conversational selling reference guide to kind of help you go through the homework. It's just like a summary of what we went over. So you can print that out and have it with you when you're filling out your homework if you want to, or if you need to. And then lastly, on our presentation, we have a hot topic question because we're all going to come together and collaborate, right? Because what we like to do is just really hear how your week went. See if this seminar helped engage you into talking to other people and getting you more comfortable using open-ended questions in the GROW method. So, but during that collaboration call, which will be next Thursday night, we're going to talk about who is the most interesting person you know and why. Yeah, it's kind of a good one. I'm trying to find your guys' faces. Why won't it just be easier? I can't see you. So anyway, you can see me?
Yep.
Have you been able to see me the whole time?
No.
No, you just came back on.
Oh. You'd think I'd have this, I'd know how to do this.
Can't you see us?
I can't see you.
I know why.
We're here. I'm here. I can see me and you, Kate.
We want to see everybody. I'm going to have to practice.
Jean, you don't see me?
No, I just see Kate. Did you have your button,
Oh, I see
the webcam? Did you touch the webcam button?
Yeah. Yep.
Can't see you.
My face is on the screen.
Oh. I can see Jean.
Oh. Yes.
I just see Jean and myself.
Right.
Up.
There she is.
Yeah, you see me? Oh, you know what? Okay.
Did you figure it
I
out?
don't think I see mine either.
No, I had my face up there. I just was supposed to do something else that I didn't do.
So
Yeah, because I didn't see you.
okay, I figured out how to do mine too, actually. It's like 3 little bubbles. If you click on that, it says hide my webcam, hide all webcams, stop sharing my webcam. And then the other one was share all webcams, and that's what I clicked. Now I can see you 3. Or us 3.
Okay.
So think about who, you know,
So guys, I'm gonna have to leave you all.
that's a fun one. It's not your hero, it's the most interesting person. There's some really interesting.
Okay.
All right, well, good. Any questions about anything that we covered tonight?
No.
It's
No,
good.
not yet.
I hope you guys liked it.
Now, I do have one question real quick, but I don't know that it's necessarily pertaining to this.
What?
But something we could think about that everybody could give their feedback.
Okay.
What I have always found that I felt the most uncomfortable with is how once you have that person on board, do you encourage them to reach the target of 150 in sales? You know, I could do the whole thing of enlist your whole family and do this and do that and follow up and how you're doing on your sales and all that. And yet in the end, we benefit if they reach that 150 and without telling them, hey, look, you got to do this for me. So you know what? So that's something that I've had in the back of my mind, and it might come up down the road with what we're going over. But if anybody, you know, wants to give feedback, not even tonight, when everybody's on board next time or whatever, but
Maybe on
that's something that I'd like to see feedback of what people are doing that's working.
Okay.
Okay.
And I can share any information I have too, especially from
Okay.
our last group that I had.
Right. That sounds great.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about it on our collaboration. I'll be thinking about some things. I'm always out
Okay.
about setting the expectation and letting
Okay.
people what's in it for them.
Okay.
Righty.
All right. Well, good night, everybody. Thanks for staying on
Right.
extra. This one had 30 some slides. They all don't have 30 some slides. This one happens to be one of them.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Good night.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Night.
Thanks so much.
Good night.
Good night. Good one. Bye.